If you're serious about understanding how humans adapted to industrialized warfare, this is one of those topics that quietly reshaped survival itself. Before we go any further, if Iron Age Instincts is the kind of channel you come to for hard-earned historical insight and practical survival knowledge, take a moment to subscribe now. It helps keep deep research like this alive and shared among people who actually care about learning how the past prepared us for catastrophe. When air power entered warfare, it didn't arrive gently. It arrived faster than vision, faster than reaction, and often faster than comprehension. The first minute of an air raid was usually the difference between life and death, and in that narrow window, sound became humanity's earliest and most reliable warning system. Long before radar screens lit up command rooms, the human ear was the frontline sensor, trained to detect danger before it could be seen. Why sound was the first line of defense against aerial attack? Early aircraft moved faster than most ground-based visual detection methods could manage, especially under cloud cover or darkness. Spotters scanning the sky were useful but unreliable. Sound, however, travelled far, bent around obstacles, and arrived well before bombs did. Military planners quickly realized that the roar of engines, the whine of propellers, and later the distinct hum of bombers could be detected miles away if listening systems were properly organized. By the First World War, acoustic detection units were already being deployed. Large concrete sound mirrors and metal listening horns were positioned along coastlines and near cities. These devices amplified distant engine noise and allowed trained operators to estimate direction and distance. While crude by modern standards, they provided precious minutes of warning, enough time to scramble defences or alert civilians. The real breakthrough came when sound was no longer just for military ears, but for entire populations. Air raid sirens transformed sound into a language everyone could understand instantly. A rising and falling wail meant imminent danger. A steady tone signalled the all clear. These sounds were designed to be impossible to ignore, cutting through urban noise, sleep, and even panic. During the Second World War, cities like London, Berlin and Tokyo depended on sirens as their primary civilian alert system. The technology behind them was simple, but brutally effective. Mechanical sirens used rotating discs to create oscillating sound waves that could travel several kilometers. Electric sirens later increased reliability and volume. The goal was not subtlety. The goal was obedience through urgency. From a survival standpoint, this matters because it created standardized reaction behavior. When the siren sounded, people moved. Shelters filled. Lights went out. Entire cities shifted posture within seconds. Sound replaced deliberation. You know, one of the most overlooked aspects of air raid history is how civilians became trained listeners. People learned to distinguish between the sound of friendly aircraft and enemy bombers, and even between high-altitude reconnaissance planes and low-flying attack runs. In London, experienced residents could often tell whether bombs were likely to fall nearby simply by engine pitch and formation noise. This skill wasn't academic, not at all. It determined whether someone stayed put, moved to a deeper shelter, or ran for it. Survivors often described knowing a bomb was theirs because the whistling sound changed pitch, indicating it was falling close. And if the sound cut out abruptly, well, they knew it had already hit. This kind of auditory literacy is a form of survival intelligence rarely taught today. A practical modern application, I'd say, is developing environmental listening habits. Survivalists can train themselves to recognize abnormal mechanical sounds, changes in ambient noise, or sudden silences that indicate disruption. Honestly, sound still warns us before visuals do in many scenarios. Sound warnings were not improvised. They were integrated into layered defense systems. Observation posts relayed aircraft movement by telephone. Once confirmed, centralized command activated sirens across entire regions simultaneously. This synchronization mattered because staggered warnings caused confusion and delayed response. In many cities, drills conditioned people to react automatically. Children practice moving to shelters by sound alone, sometimes blindfolded. Factories halted production instantly when sirens sounded. This created what modern emergency planners call, muscle memory at scale. For today's preparedness-minded individuals, the lesson is coordination. Sound-based alerts work best when everyone knows what they mean and what to do next. Even a simple household or community signal plan can, honestly, drastically reduce reaction time during emergencies. Radar eventually replaced acoustic detection for early warning, but sirens never really disappeared. Radar would inform the authorities, sure, but sound, that informed the people. The human ear, well, it remained the final link in the chain. Even during the Cold War, nuclear warning systems still relied on sirens, because sound required no literacy, no electricity in the home, and honestly, no interpretation at all. This redundancy is important. Sound does not depend on screens, networks, or user choice. It reaches everyone equally. That is why, modern emergency systems still use sirens for tornadoes, chemical spills, and missile alerts. Understanding this history reminds us that, quite often, low-tech solutions outlast high-tech ones in reliability. The core lesson is simple, but honestly a bit uncomfortable. Survival favors those who react early, not those who react accurately. Sound gives early warning. It buys time. Time creates options. Whether you are studying history or preparing for uncertain futures, learning to respect auditory signals and build sound-based alert systems into your planning is not nostalgia. It's well-proven survival logic. If this kind of deep, practical history is what you value, go ahead and subscribe to Iron Age Instincts and share this with others who take preparedness and historical truth seriously. The past has already written the manual. We just need to read it.